And move over Vietnam because it's official. Afghanistan is now America's longest war. That's right. Today, June 7th, 2010, completes its 104th month, just narrowly this month beating out the Vietnam War, which lasted 103 months. Now, Vietnam still remains one of the deadliest conflicts in history, having claimed over 1 million lives between the two sides. But while the war in Afghanistan continues, the United States reportedly is also continuing to expand its program of drone attacks in Pakistan, making it the leader of targeted killings in the world. But at what cost? Lauren Lister, she's in the newsroom with more. Hey there, Lauren.
Hey, Dina. Yeah, well, you asked the million-dollar question, and the figures that you cited came out in a United Nations report with those findings about targeted killings and the U.S. leading the world in them. You know, it brings up questions about whether or not this is a violation under international law, legal and ethical questions that some in the U.S. have been asking for a lot longer than a week, which was when that UN report came out. Take a look.
The Jonas Brothers are here.
The United States president.
They're out there somewhere.
Tells a joke.
Sasha and Malia are huge fans.
He winds up.
But boys don't get any ideas.
For the punchline.
I have 2 words for you. Predator drones. You will never see it coming.
You wonder if the people beneath this drone in Iraq, insurgents according to the U.S., ever saw it coming either.
You think I'm joking?
But no one thinks a Hellfire missile dropped from a remote-control plane killing people is a joke, especially not for the 1 in 3 estimated to be civilians caught in the crossfire of drone strikes in Pakistan, for example. There, the CIA runs a covert program. The Obama administration says this.
That U.S. targeting practices, including lethal operations conducted with the use of unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, comply with all applicable law, including the laws of war.
But the United Nations now begs to differ, and for even longer, critics at home in the U.S. have disagreed.
Well, we're here because we believe that the CIA's drone bombing program is illegal and immoral.
And former top-ranking government officials believe the bombings violate international law, too.
I think they do, yes.
Why?
Because you cross a border and you go into a country with whom you are not at war, under any definition known to man of war, and you start to kill people with military implements. This is, and with in some cases at least, with military people pulling the trigger or pushing the button.
It's hard to know the truth behind a program shrouded in secrecy, but publicly we keep hearing this about the mission of top U.S. commanders in the Afpak region.
General McChrystal is doing everything humanly possible to avoid civilian casualties.
While headlines seem to tell a different story. And while the U.S. reportedly expands drone attacks, they spread discontent on the ground beneath them.
It doesn't stop terror. It increases terror. It increases vulnerability to innocent people there and innocent people here in America.
And innocent people are asking, are these drones killing militants or creating them abroad and in the U.S.? What drives an American, for example, born in Pakistan, to try to set off a bomb in Times Square?
He supposedly came from the border areas of Pakistan.
As President Obama would say,
I have 2 words for you. Predator drones.
Activists ask,
was a family member of his killed accidentally with one of these drone attacks? Or was a village that his family comes from, was it affected?
You think I'm joking?
What's no laughing matter are the numbers. Analysts believe between 900 and 1,400 people have been killed by drone attacks in Pakistan since 2004. Hundreds of those deaths have occurred this year, and hundreds are believed to be civilians. So while the president can joke, the question remains, do the consequences of the U.S. drone program mean the joke is on him? Lauren Lister, RT, Washington, D.C.
Drones or no drones, definitely a widely discussed topic here in the United States and, of course, around the world. Now, Lauren, let's bring Lauren back into the conversation. What are some of the issues, though, that has led the United Nations, for example, to recently question if this is even legal under international law?
Well, the fact that it's a new phenomenon and that it's an expanding program has really brought up a lot of questions about the blurring and the expansion of targeted killings, and are they a violation of international law? Is the U.S. targeting combatants as it says that it needs to be under international law. Fighters. Some indication has been that the United States doesn't even need a name anymore to target someone. They can target based on surveillance, based on patterns of life, which aren't always accurate. In addition, transparency and accountability are both big issues. Under international law, there's supposed to be information about these programs. States need to be held accountable. And this program, the one in Pakistan, is believed to be run by the CIA. The United States doesn't speak about it explicitly because it's a covert program. So that's another issue that the United Nations brought up, along with some kind of investigation process if civilians are killed, which in the case of these drone attacks, they clearly are. So those are just a few of the issues brought up in this report.
So, Lauren, you mentioned this before, but how does the U.S. respond when it comes to questions about its drone program? I want you to elaborate on that. Clearly, there are questions not only about the program, but obviously about these civilian deaths, like we heard you say in your piece there.
Right. Well, what's interesting that I want to point out is that that you heard some words from Harold Koh, a State Department legal advisor, who said that they believe that the drone programs of the United States are completely legal under international law. That's the first time that the United States has explicitly talked about that. And in addition, as far as civilian casualties, the United States has said they estimate there to be around 20 to 50, and independent analysts believe there have been hundreds. So, you know, a lot of different information out there.
I never thought Jonas Brothers and Predator drones would somehow fit in the same sentence, but Barack Obama did it. RT's Lauren Lister there for us in our newsroom, bringing us that report.